We with Ms. Jacqueline Howard. Ms. Howard is the Chief of Food Service for the Greenville Floor Consolidated School District. Ms. Howard, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing fine.
Good.
In your job, what do you do? What do your job entail as Chief of Food Service?
Well, as Chief of Food Service for the Greenville Floor Consolidated School District, it is my responsibility to provide menus that meet USDA guidelines on a day-to-day basis. We have calories that we have to meet per week. Those calories are for pre-K, it's 600 to 650. 9th through 12th, it's 750 to 850. So our goal is to provide nutritional meals to our students and staff with excellent customer service while meeting USDA guidelines.
The calorie count, has it always been a part of school lunches?
Yes, it has. USDA guidelines, they have calories for pre-K, pre-K to 8th, just like I said, and 9 to 12th. So it's not like we can just put a menu together that all students are actually going to want to consume. We have guidelines that we have to meet. So it's very important that we meet those guidelines.
Does it have to do with health, weight loss, weight gain, or both when you're talking about the calorie count?
It has to do with health, because nutrition is very important to basic health. So what we're trying to do is get kids to start to develop wanting to consume healthy choices at an early age.
How do you determine what meal they're going to have each day and where their meal is going to consist of? How is that determined?
Well, it's determined basically, I have a budget, so I have to make sure that I'm within that budget. We have so many fruits that we have to menu on a weekly basis. We have the 5 subgroups. We have the green vegetable, the starchy vegetable, the other vegetable, the red orange vegetable, and the bean. So all of that has a lot to do with how I put together the menu for the week. We have so many bread that K-8 and 9th through 12th have to consume on a basis. So all of that is the day-to-day operation that I have to sit down and consistently think about when I'm trying to put menus together.
How many schools do you serve in this district? Just
11 cafeterias.
Okay. And let's talk about breakfast and lunch.
Okay.
Is that the same at every school, every day?
Yes, I plan the menus for a week district-wide. So out of the 11 cafeterias, all 11 cafeterias are supposed to have the same menu for breakfast and lunch. And those same guidelines have to take place for breakfast and lunch.
How challenging is that? 'Cause we got to get it right. We got to stay under the count. How challenging can that be?
LaSalle is very challenging because a lot of times I have to menu certain items that children may not want to pick up. We know that children like to eat chips, they like to drink sodas. So I cannot put those menu items on the menu. I have to do a whole grain biscuit. We have the enriched biscuit. For breakfast, we have to have a fruit on the line. So it's like we are an offer versus serve school district breakfast and lunch program. They have to pick up a fruit for breakfast before it's a reimbursable meal. They have to pick up a fruit or vegetable for lunch to have a reimbursable meal. So it's a lot of guidelines that have to be met on a weekly basis when it comes to putting menus together. So I'm not just sitting there menuing items that I know are not popular for children. I am following USDA guidelines.
Okay. So when you have to follow the guidelines, you have to get it there. What about them consuming it, or them eating it? Is that on them, or are they monitored to make sure that they eat it? Things that they don't like, they don't give away. How do y'all regulate that if you can?
Well, okay, we know that children, we're going to have some type of waste, but we want to prevent waste. So therefore, we menu 5 components for lunch. Out of those 5 components, students have an opportunity to pick up 3 items. One of those items have to be a fruit or a vegetable. USDA is trying to do that so that students will consume more fruits and vegetables. You know that students are going to throw away something, so it's kind of my job also to kind of put together a menu where students would like to choose those particular items rather than go to the garbage can. So that's something that I think about when I'm planning and preparing menus. What are they going to pick up? What are they going to like? What are they going to throw away? So it makes no sense for me to sit there and put a menu together where kids are going to go straight to the garbage can. But of course, they are going to throw some of the items in the garbage. But we want to try to prevent as much waste as possible.
When it comes to serving size, you have some children will eat more than others. When they're fixing the plate, going through the cafeteria, do all the kids get the exact same thing in terms of the amount of serving? Some get more than others. Can you do that?
That's also a guideline. It's a half a cup of fruit and a half a cup of vegetable. So during my audit, I've just recently gone through an audit, December the 2nd through the 6th of 2019. The auditors were here and they stood in front of the serving line to make sure that the line ladies or people on the line that's serving the food gave the students the correct portion size. And believe it or not, at one of the schools, the auditor did notice that on an adult meal, on an adult tray, that the serving size was a little more than it was supposed to be. So I know that teachers want to think that, well, I'm an adult. I need more than this. This is not enough. I'm paying X, Y, and Z, $3.25 for this meal. Why do I have to get the same serving size that the students get? Well, again, I say that's USDA guideline. The adult meal serving size has to be the same size that the students get. And that's a half a cup of vegetables, a half a cup of fruit, a 2-ounce serving of meat. If we're offering a 1-ounce serving of bread that day, then it's 1 ounce. If we're offering a 2-ounce serving of bread that day, then it's 2 ounces. But we also have it in place where if they want that additional serving size, they have the opportunity to make that purchase to get more, of that serving.
And that's as well as adults can do that, students can do the same?
Yes, students can do it as well. Whatever we offer, whatever we menu, whatever's on the menu for that day, the students have an opportunity to make an extra purchase of that particular item, whether it's the sandwich, whether it's the vegetable, whether it's the fruit, whether it's the meat, whatever it is, they have the opportunity where they can make that extra purchase. But of course, they have to pay for that. Although the students for Greenwood LaFleur Consolidated School District, we operate under the CEP program, which means that all of our students eat at no cost. And that's because we have a high percentage of free and reduced meals.
And they get that one meal free. But if they want to buy, can they buy another one? If they say, well, I didn't get breakfast, this is not enough, I'm a little hungry today. Can the students buy another tray?
Yes, they can.
$3.25?
They can.
Okay.
They can. Okay. But it's gonna look kind of odd for us to be serving students those meals at no cost. And then they come right back and they purchase that entire meal. But sure, they can.
There would be a little attention drawn to that if that would happen on a regular basis by the auditors, I assume.
Well, no, I don't think so. But it may be something that they may consider. Because we are a school district that has a high percentage of free and reduced meals.
And when you say audit, most folks think you're talking about the auditing your dollars. Does that your finances? Does that when you say auditors? a while
Okay.
ago. What do you think?
When I say auditors, the breakfast and lunch program, we are audited. The school nutrition program is audited at least every 3 years. So my audit was December 2nd through the 6th of this year. So in 3 years, they will come back. They will look at my administrative, everything, my menus. They'll look at my calories. They will look at my sodium levels, my saturated fats, my fats, because again, those are the guidelines. So they'll look at that, they'll go to the school and monitor the serving line, make sure all students are coming through the serving line and given their identification number, which is their point of sale number, which is their cafeteria number. They're gonna monitor the breakfast and lunch program from the beginning to the end. They will do 2 breakfasts, they will do 2 lunch, and they would choose those schools based on the highest percentage of free meals. So this year we had to do Amanda Elsie, we did Greenwood High School, and we did LaFleur County High School. So they are here for 5 days with me, 5 days. 3 days in my office, 2 days out in the field, monitoring my operation, our operation, the district operation, to make sure all USDA guidelines are being followed. So they do that for breakfast and they do it for lunch.
Okay. Is that a stressful 5 days for you?
Oh boy, it's very stressful, very stressful, but I make it through it.
I guess the way you relieve the stress on that is that knowing you're gonna do it right every day.
I
And
try.
then- okay.
That's my goal. That's my goal. I want to make sure I stay within the budget. I want to make sure that I am meeting USDA guidelines because at the end of the day, that is what that is what lets me know that I'm running a successful operation. Meeting the budget, meeting the guidelines, and then having a clear audit. So that's what you want to do.
You talked about waste a few minutes ago. What level of waste is acceptable, and what is not acceptable? You know, food that's left over, food that you haven't. Do you have to, if food is not consumed that particular day during the meal or breakfast or lunch, what do you do with that?
It's only we can only control so much of that. There are items that we can temp down, store, and bring out the next day. Then there are some items that we cannot do that because of.
And name some foods that you can, some foods that you can't. We'll do that
Okay,
with.
for instance, when we have barbecue beef on buns, we can temp that beef down, store it, and we have to bring it out the next day. I prefer them to bring it out the next day rather than hold it 3 days because you're not supposed to hold it over 4 to 5 days. I think 5 days is too long. I would prefer if we have barbecue beef on bun on Monday and we have servings left over, I would prefer them to store it and bring it out the next day. And then if it's not picked up that day, then we discard it.
Was it picked up by the student?
Yes, correct. Picked up by the student. That means if I menu corn dogs, beef fingers, and we had barbecue beef left from the previous day, then they are supposed to bring that barbecue beef out at the beginning of the hour to serve the next day, where the students will have a choice to pick it up. Now, if that item is not picked up that day, you have to discard it. You cannot store it again and bring it back out. So we do want to prevent waste because preventing waste, that helps with the budget. You know, you keep buying the same things over and over and over. That will eat away, you know, on your finances. So it's a big business. It's a business. I'll put it that way.
Yes, many times you have people in the community around the Delta growing vegetables. Are you allowed to buy vegetables from them? If they, from time they might come out and sell to the schools? Is that permissible by the state, by the district?
Well, we can do that, but if we purchase fruits and vegetables from farmers,
Okay.
that means I would have to go out and do the procurement for that. I would have to go out and get quotes.
Okay.
I would have to, say for instance, we have one farmer in this area. I would have to go and get quotes from at least two other farmers
Okay.
to see where their prices are.
Okay.
So as far as purchasing fruits and vegetables from farmers, I don't do that. I make my purchases from the order guide that is put together by the State Department, which that takes a lot of the leg walk away from me, and because the prices, the pounds and everything is already done. So that helps me out a lot. So anything that I can do to, avoid all the procurement procedures and to make my job a little less hectic,
Okay.
that's the route that I'll take. So no, I don't purchase fruits and vegetables from local farmers. I use the order guide that is put together from the State Department, the purchasing program.
If there's items you have on the menu that most students don't like, do you take that off? And
I do.
And vice versa. If you have some, hey, these students like this, do you get more of that?
I do. I
Okay.
do. When I go out to the schools, that's my purpose
Okay.
for going out. I watch students as they come through the serving line. I pay attention to what they're picking up. I pay attention to what they're eating. I pay attention to what they're throwing away. If I see, okay, I have menued celery sticks
Okay.
today, and I go out and I see kids coming through the line, they're walking by, they're not picking up the celery sticks. And then if they are picking up the celery sticks, they're taking it straight to the garbage. Well, then the next time that menu cycle rolls around, I'll pull the celery sticks off,
Okay.
and then I would have to put another green vegetable. So I can't just pull the celery stick off and perhaps put French fries
Okay.
on the menu. Students love French fries. I can't just put French fries on the menu. If I pull a green vegetable, then I go back and insert another green vegetable in that place. So just like I told you, those 5 subgroups that we have to offer during the week of the menu, that's what I have to do. So going back to your question, yes, I can pull menu items off that I see they are not, picking up and they're going to the garbage with. I can pull them off and insert another item. But it basically, fruits and vegetables, it has to be that particular subgroup that I put back into that place on that menu.
Okay. What do you consider? You have 11, at least 11 schools.
11 schools.
How do you determine if the cafeteria ran the way you want it to be ran? This cafeteria here is, hey, I like this, and others got to come up to this standard. What would the cafeteria be doing? That you like it, and the students like it, and
What would that cafeteria be doing? Okay, first of all, that cafeteria would definitely be meeting USDA guidelines. That cafeteria would have what I call excellent customer service, where they are serving our students with a smile, because we never know what a child has gone through at home. So that smiling face would make the difference for that child. Customer service, cleanliness, organization, from front to back, from the front door to the back door, how the team work together to get the job done, and just being able to communicate and run a smooth operation. We know that things don't happen, things are not perfect every day. But if we organize, we stay focused, and we do what we're supposed to do, we meet USDA guidelines, we follow policy and procedures. Now, excellent customer service, when you come through that serving line, it pops, because we eat with our eyes, and that's what I would do. That's what I'm looking for perfect, or I won't use the word perfect, but
that's your standard you want.
my standard and my expectations. Yes. and employees that come to work, that want to come to work, you know, because when one person is out, it puts a load on the other people that has to do the task for that day, to get that meal out, to get that facility clean and prep for the next day.
Do you all get inspected by the health department?
Oh, yes, we do.
How often?
At least twice a year. Twice a year. See, that's something else that I have to also keep in mind, that we're meeting the health codes that are set by the Mississippi State Department of Health. So we're just not in the kitchen cooking and just doing what we want to do like we do at home. We have strict guidelines from USDA to the health department that we have to follow, you know, because at the end of the day, it's about food safety and making sure our students are served meals that are healthy and pleasant and pleasing, and they're meeting USDA guidelines. So it's a big task.
What kind of, I won't even call them complaints. What kind of concerns do you get from, we say the students, because you're here first to serve the students. What kind of concerns do you get from the students, and what concerns do you take seriously? Sometimes you say, well, they're talking, and sometimes you say, well, let me address that. The concerns you get from the students that you would like to address to meet their desire, so to speak, although you got your guidelines.
Okay, I always keep the guidelines first and centered, okay? I do listen to students. I want to hear what they say. They are our customers. That is what drives our nutrition program. I want to menu those things that they want to come and pick up and consume. I've gotten a lot of, what would I call it?
Teachers have some concerns they want to air.
Concerns. I have gotten a lot of concerns from students. At the beginning of the school year, I kind of pulled away the extra sales, which was the hot wings, the chips, the slush. I pulled that back a little because I wanted to get the operation to run smooth, because we had just merged as one district, and I wanted to make sure the point of sale location was going to be running smooth before students start coming in the line, making those extra purchases. So yes, I did. I got a lot of concerns about the hot wings, the chips, the selling the slush, because a lot of students were saying, well, we don't get enough food. We're hungry. You all are not serving what we want to eat. We play football, and at the end of the day, we're still hungry. I hear that, and it does bother me. But at the same time, I have to keep in mind that I have these guidelines that I have to follow.
State, federal guidelines.
State and federal guidelines that I have to follow. So with that being said, it seems like I never sleep, because I'm always thinking about what can I do better? How can I get these students to realize what it is I'm trying to do on a daily basis? And I'm just not being mean and taking away things from them because I can't. That's not what I'm doing. I'm trying to meet guidelines. I'm trying to provide healthy menu items, healthy choices. So during the student advisory committee meeting that we had last week with the high school students, the high school students gave me some concerns about when will we get our snacks back? When will we get our hot wings back? When will we get this back? When will we get that back? So I told them, I said, yes, I will put those back out for you, but I do want to make sure that you're still picking up your regular menu items, and that you are coming through the line and making those choices quick, so that we don't bag the line up, you know. And I did tell them that we will put the hot wings back on the back out for extra a la carte. We would put the chips back out. We would put the cookies back out.
Okay.
But I was going to hold back the slush. And see, what they don't think about is that we can't just sell them food items that they want to eat.
Okay.
These food items have to have been a part of the menu. Okay? So if I want to sell hot wings, I have to have menued
Okay.
hot wings, menu the chips, menu the cookies. Okay? And I have not menued any of the slush for this year, but I have menued the hot wings. I have menued the cookies, and I'm going to do the chips. Now, for the chips, I do the chips for the snack program,
Okay.
but I have not implemented that into the lunch menu. So, all of that has everything to do with
Okay.
USDA guidelines. So, yes, I am going to put their hot wings back on out for them to purchase. I am going to put their cookies back out for them to purchase. I am going to put their chips back out for them to purchase. And hopefully the heat will get off of Miss Howard.
Okay, I smile because you took guidelines. They want the hot wings.
They want the hot wings, and I'm speaking guidelines.
Right.
Yes,
They don't want to do
yes.
that. Let me ask, I'm sure when you talk to other directors of food service around the state, they have probably the same concerns from their students as you have it. I would
Right,
think.
right. I mean, because
Okay.
this is not, like I always say, this is not a Miss Howard thing.
Okay.
This is a USDA guideline that we're following, So I'm sure neighboring districts and directors are probably having some of the same concerns that I have. Sometimes it feels isolated, but I know that it's not.
Okay. Let me ask you, sometimes you talk about the district and the state of the district in terms of free lunch programs, and that is dictated by the area that we're in. Say if some of the more affluent districts, would that menu be the same or similar to the menu here in LaFleur County?
Mr. Hall, they have to meet the same USDA guidelines that I have to meet. Just say, for instance, the Madison School District, they may not be on the CEP program because of, the high
that CEP
economic.
again is
Community Eligibility Provision Program. The Madison County School District may not operate under that program because of the economics in that area. So therefore,
Would the food choices, would the menu be different because of that? Different foods?
the menu is at the discretion of the food service director. So I'm sure a lot, and I have looked on their website.
Okay.
A lot of the items that I'm menuing, you have those same menus, around neighboring schools. We're all on that same state purchasing program. So the order guide that I'm looking at and pulling my food items from, they have that same order guide. Now, they may not think like Miss Howard. The menu is at the discretion of the director. And like I was about to say, for the Madison County School District, they may not be operating under the CEP, the Community Eligibility Provision Program, because of the economic area there. The students they're not eating free. They're eating at free and reduced and paid meals. But just because we're per se a free school district, it does not mean that our food is of low standards. Because we're all using the same order guide to make the same purchases. So just because it's free, it does not mean that our students are getting anything less than the other students. We're ordering off the same order guide. We're following the same USDA guidelines, same federal guidelines. Nothing different. It's just that we're CEP and they are free, paid, and reduced.
I told some people that were going to come and interview you. They said she has a lot to say. I want to thank you for the time that you've taken to explain what you do to us. Anything else that you would like for the people in this community to know about the district and what you do when it comes to doing your job in serving the students? Anything that we have not covered to this point?
Well, I'm supposed to be a person of few words,
Okay.
and a lot of times I am a person of few words.
Okay.
But just to let the district know, and the community know, and the students know, that I am doing everything that I can to make sure that our students are fed nutritious meals. I am meeting the guidelines, and that I told them in the advisory committee that I have their back, and I want them to have mine.
Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the job.
Thank you.